Hello, hello, hello. All right, so this is going to be a review of topic A. Topic A is all of what we've done so far in module 5. So let's dive right on in. Number 1, complete each more/less statement. 100 more than 148 is blank. Now, you've got to use some logic here. 100 more than. So that's saying 100 more than 148. If it helps, make it real. So you've got 148. I always say donuts. Y'all know I always say donuts. Donuts. But you've got 100 more than that. So usually when we see more, we add. But if we see more than, and then a number, so more than number, we're generally gonna add. So 100 more than 148 is the same thing as saying 148 plus 100. So, and that equals what? Well, if we use our place value strategy, we would draw lines and stuff. But when we've got zeros like this, we don't have to do all that. We can look at the ones and know we're not going to change a thing. Look at the tens and see a zero. No, you're not going to change a thing. Look, okay, we have a 1 in the hundreds place. We can add it to this one. So we know our hundreds place is going to be 1 plus 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. And then the rest we've already got. We don't even have to do any math to get the rest of that. We just copy it. Our answer is 248. Okay, 10 less than 133 is blank. So 10 less, that's like saying I've got 133 here. I gotta write super tiny, I made that too small. And I've got to find the number that is 10 less. So this is like 10 and it's less, so it's going down. So we have to figure out what would be this smaller new part. So to find out the difference in these two numbers is how we would figure this out. So we would subtract. So 10 less than 133. So remember, look at that 0 in the ones place. What means we're going to change nothing. We have a 1 in the tens place and we're subtracting. So it'll be 3 minus 1 is 2. We don't have anything in the hundreds place. So our hundreds place stays the same, 1. Our tens place changed to a 2. Our ones place stays the same. We already said that at 3. Our answer is 123. And I know some of you are like, Miss Pritchard, you're making this really complicated. But this is the way I'm supposed to teach it to you. So let's look at a couple with a little bit of a simpler way of looking at things, okay? So 357 is 10 more than what? So let's say I've got a tape diagram. That is always a good way of figuring out if you're going to add or subtract. This is what we've been doing all year. And I feel like you guys are probably the most comfortable of all of these strategies, probably using a tape diagram. So let's do that. 357 is 10 more than, and we have a question mark. I'm just going to draw a question mark right here. we have a part and a part. It's saying, oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we have a whole and a part. So 357 is the highest number we're going to get because it's 10 more than the number that we're finding. So it's 10 above the number that we're finding. So our mama, we already have. That's going to be the 357 because that's the biggest number we're going to be able to get because it is 10 more than the number we're looking for. So where should the 10 go? In a baby. Now you know. When you have one baby and a mama, but you got one baby missing, you guys know, I know you know, that you subtract. So 357 minus 10 equals what? Are you going to change anything in the ones? No. The tens changes, it's going to subtract 1. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. That changes. Is anything in the hundreds over here? No. So the hundreds isn't going to change. So 3 is going to be our hundreds. Our new number down here, 4 for our tens. And 7, because it doesn't change because of that 0. So 347. I am not going to lie to you guys. These types of problems are some of the most confusing problems I personally think that you will ever have to do in second grade math, because it is honestly difficult for me to sometimes tell if you're going to add or subtract unless I draw the number bond. And that's, I mean, usually I can look at math problems and just do them in my head. So if you guys get, I mean, it's hard to tell if you're supposed to add or subtract, and you might think you're right, but like this one says 10 more than. So I know a lot of you were thinking that you were supposed to add 10 here, but it's saying this number is 10 more. So you actually have to take away 10. It's very confusing. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, but we're not even going to bother doing one more of those. And I'm only going to make you do one of them. Okay. On the next slide, you're only going to do one, I promise. And I made it like this one, a more than. So remember, we added. Try to remember that. All right. So this is going to be some patterns. We like patterns. They're nice. Let's see what's changing about these numbers. 721, 621, 521. Well, just saying it out loud, I'm hearing the number 21 a lot. So I'm going to underline 21 in every number. Okay. So that is staying the same. I can see it now. What I'm seeing changing is going to be the hundreds place. Every time. It's just going to be the hundreds place. Because look, 21, 21, 21. So you can do, you've already got part of the answer. 21, 21, 21. We've just got to find the hundreds place for each one. And so when we look at the hundreds place, 7, 6, 5, are we going up or are we going down? We're going down. So we have to continue going down. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And just like that, you've got the pattern filled in. I feel like that was just so much easier than those other problems, right, guys? All right, let's look at another pattern. I wish they could all be patterns. Patterns are so much fun. All right, let's see what's changing about these numbers. 569, 559, 549. I feel like I said 500 every time. Let's check. 569, 559, 549. Okay, I did say 500 every time, but I also said another number every time. What number did I also say every time? 9. It's the 9. So it looks like our 100 at the 5 and our 1 at the 9 stays the same. Look at that. 5, 9, 5, 9. That's the pattern of what stays the same. So we can at least go, because like 6, 7, 8, yeah, we got this. 5, 9, 5, 9, 5, 9. And to explain why I paused, you'll see, I'm going to explain in a second, actually. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. That's what we've got in the tens. That's the only thing that's changing. And it goes 4, 5, 6. To me, that sounds like counting. And when you count, you go up by 1. So let's just count. But we're going to go this way from what we know to what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Now, the reason I paused to explain this to you, if we went up one more in this middle spot, it would become a 0. But then this 5, what would that become? It would become a 6. So the next number would be 609. So that makes it a little more complicated. That makes something else change too. But you know, that's because, you know, on a place value chart, that's because you have to bundle and move the place value discs over. All right, and then we're going to look at this section, and then I'm going to have you guys do a couple on your own, and then watch me do a couple word problems. I just got an email. All right, solve and complete the number sentences. Oops. 25 tens plus 13 tens equals how many tens? And I've told you guys, your units, you can swap them out for whatever you want, make it your own. You can say in your mind, it's 25 Barbie dolls plus 13 Barbie dolls. It has to be the same thing because they're the same. 10 tens, tens and tens, tens. So it has to be the same thing. But like I could say, you know, donuts. 25 donuts plus 13 donuts, or 25 flowers plus 13 flowers. If tens freaks you out, just switch it out. Oh, that rhymed. Okay, so we're just adding 25 and 13. These are just units. So think of it as 25 flowers plus 13 flowers. So you know, you just solve with the numbers first. So 25 plus 13. And here we can use a place value strategy. Underline your ones once and your tens twice. Then 3 plus 5 equals 8. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So we have 38 tens. You have to switch it back at the end. If you write flowers and the unit is tens on the test or something, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take points off for that. You can switch it while you're doing the math, but you have to switch it back when you answer. Sorry. All right, the value is, now, don't be intimidated by this weird word value. That just means, what is this worth? It's like saying if I have 38 $10 bills, what is that worth? How can I figure that out? Counting by tens. So you could count by tens 38 times. You could. But I could also tell you an easier way to do this. When you see the word tens, I want you to just replace it with a 0 and make a whole new number like this. What is that new number? 380. 380 is the same as 38 tens. And if you counted by tens 38 times, you would get to the number 380. All right, so this was subtraction. We're going to do this one. And then these are all just like regular math problems. I wanted to focus more on these ones that ask you to add and subtract tens. Because you guys, I want to emphasize that you don't have to freak out about seeing the word tens and how easy it is to transfer your answer to a value. Sorry, I had to have a sip of my drink. You know how I am. All right. 58 tens minus 15 tens. We don't have more on the floor at all here. So we can use our place value system here, place value strategy. All right, we're ready. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so from left to right. And y'all notice sometimes with addition, I work from right to left. That's a really bad habit. I should not be teaching y'all like that. And you need to not do it. I'm going to do better about not doing it in front of you. I'm sorry. It's a bad habit I have because I am dyslexic. Okay. So 8 minus 5. We're starting in the ones. 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. And then 5 minus 1. Because that's our tens place. That's what we need. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So 43 tens is our answer. 43 tens. Remember, tens is just the unit. When you're doing all this part, you don't worry about this word. Remember, you can change that to anything you want. You just worry about these numbers and this symbol right here in the middle. You get your answer. And then if it doesn't say tens already, you got to write your unit, because that's going to help you in just a second when we figure out the value. So, because it's asking, the value is blank. The value, remember, is how much this is worth. Like if this was 43 $10 bills. So like I said earlier, we could count by tens 43 times to figure this out. That would take a really long time. And guys, I'm just not feeling that. So let's do it the easy way that I showed you a second ago. I think you guys like it better. And I think you guys will like using it a lot better. So this word tens, we can just put a 0. And we have a new number. What number is that if I pushed all those numbers together? We have a new number, 430. So 43 tens is the same as 430. See how we just added a 0. All you have to do is add a 0 to find that out. Crazy, huh? So when you want to get the value of some amount of tens, once you know how many tens you got, just add a 0 to the end and drop that unit. All right, I'm going to let you guys try a couple.